Hi, my name is Loubna. I am a student here in the UK. I'm Sudanese and I also live in the UK. The reason why I am a feminist is because it has always served me very well. Being a feminist has made me a lot more aware of my own rights, my own power, my own strength. It has made me prepared to face sexism within society, within the institutions, whether it's a school institution or a work institution. And it's also made me feel a lot stronger about myself and not feel too hurt. Of course, feminism is a very personal thing. Of course, you're going to take any kind of sexism, any kind of discrimination very personally. But it also makes you, like as I said before, so prepared that you know how to tackle it, you know how to fight it. And that is why I love the feminist ideology, and I would want to spread it around the world for all women to benefit from it, because I think the more awareness, the more knowledge you have, the more power. The principles of feminism, in my opinion, the most important principle is that it stands up against patriarchy. It stands up against the status quo. So we live in a society that still looks down on women. We live in societies that still exploits women and abuses women. And we need to change the way of thinking. We need to change the discrimination, and we need to change our ways of thinking as well, not just how men think of us, but how a lot of women think of themselves as a result of how men think of them. So I think that feminism provides that dialogue between women to understand each other, to debate, to discuss, to support each other. In the UK, feminism, a lot of people think of the UK maybe as a very progressive country. In a lot of ways, there are moments where you feel like it is. But unfortunately, there is still a lot of gender disparity within society, like, for example, within the workforce. We have a lot of women that still, we don't get paid equally as men within the same positions. And we still don't get employed within the same fields of work. Like, for example, engineering, we don't have enough women within that workforce. And that is because it is described, and it's described by society as a masculine job. And so we have to just accept it. And that is a way of discouraging women from doing certain things. And another thing about feminism that is like it's described in a negative manner in the UK is when it comes to the media. The media likes to spread this label that feminism is a radical ideology. So I've met many women who have incredible feminist principles, and they believe in women's rights, they believe in standing up against discrimination, they believe in standing up against sexism and all of these things. Like, they're incredible women, especially women who are what we call intersectional feminists, women who understand that race and like racism and sexism exist. However, the same women that I've met that have these incredible points of view also will not associate with the word feminism. And the reason for that is because they are convinced that the word feminism is a radical thing, that it makes them a radical group. And that's a misconception that is very common, unfortunately, and that needs to be changed. And the only way that it can be changed is, like I said, through dialogue, through constant dialogue between women, and through constant events, etc. I also mentioned that I am Sudanese, and I think it's being a Sudanese woman is what's made me so motivated to be a feminist. In my country, for a lot of women, feminism might not be a very popular thing. It might be in something that you feel, something that you support, but it is definitely something you cannot necessarily be vocal about. And I want to change that. I want women to understand their self-worth a lot better, to not give up on themselves too early, to not be discouraged by a lot of voices around them saying that, you can't, there's a limit to how far you can go because you are a woman. And because this is an experience that I can relate to very well, but luckily for me, because I have been raised by a single mother who was always determined to let me flourish and to let me get, the sky's the limit for me to reach my capabilities, to reach my potential. because I've always had a mother who supported me like that, that is why I have been able to achieve so much in my life, and that is why I feel like this type of opportunity needs to be available for women all across the globe. And that's why I pride myself in being a feminist and being a Sudanese woman as well.